Okay. Again, thank you for joining the MAMES Monthly Retail webinar. Today we are pleased to have a presentation, Re-Engineering HME Retail, Leveraging Innovation to Beat Online Retailers with Kamal Haddad from Health Mobius. Kamal, I'm going to turn the presentation over to you to introduce yourself and proceed with the presentation and let everybody know the first record that you've broken.
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. I had to leave yesterday. I'm in Amman, Jordan, and in 5 hours I'm leaving for Doha, Qatar. So Rose tells me that there's not a lot of presentations that come from this part of the world. But I'm sitting at the W Hotel in Amman getting ready to take another shower and head to a plane. So today we're going to talk about a subject that I like to call re-engineering retail, and I want to discuss some pretty interesting things that come across our radar screen because of the customers, the types of customers that we deal with. Can you go to the second slide, please, Rose? There you go. I want to start on a negative note, and that's maybe discussing what I think are key mistakes that this industry has made. And when I think about this industry, it's not a isolated problem to HME dealers, but it's retail itself. And that is that people have not really been paying attention what a lot of experts are calling the retail apocalypse. And then the second mistake that this industry has made is that we're not learning from the success stories of companies that have actually been able to survive in a post-Amazon world. Believe it or not, there are a lot of success stories, and I want to talk about those today. And the third piece is that we've done a pretty terrible job at integrating reimbursement in the cash business. Everything that we see and hear about kind of isolates this cash business from reimbursement. Next slide, please, Rose. So what has led to the retail apocalypse? In 2019, there have been 7,000 retail store closings as compared to 5,800 in 2018. So this didn't peak. It's actually continuing to grow. And I like using the terminology that if you're not evolving with your retail location, then you're slowly dying. And the reason this apocalypse has come out is because of e-commerce in general, and more specifically the dominance of Amazon in the marketplace, the disruption that they've created. But the reality is that Amazon has brought a lot of good things to consumers, right? They brought the ability to have convenience, technology, information about products, recommendations with products. People that bought this also bought this. And those are the kind of conveniences that customers are craving for. But at the end of the day, Amazon's not interested in your business. They're not interested in HME as a business. They're interested in your customers. They've done this with booksellers. They've done this with appliances. They've done this with a lot of other items. Next slide, please. Let's talk statistics. There's not a presentation that doesn't have some boring statistics, so I'm going to give you a few. Recent surveys of shoppers in general, 75% of them are looking for human interaction. And they're actually more loyal to a brand or to a store if they can actually talk to a live person versus having to do everything on their own. So despite the fact that people are shopping online, they're really looking for a lot more interpersonal relationships or interactions that they're not getting. This I kind of found interesting. I thought that in-store was actually on a big decline as opposed to online, but 58% of shoppers still use in-store as their primary shopping channel. Consumers are making as many as 42 trips a year for health-related items from a local pharmacy and drugstore. 71% of shoppers are still using a mobile device while they're in their store. So imagine that. They're in your store, they're looking at an item, they've got their phone, and they're either price shopping or doing some research online while they're in their store. So 3/4 of shoppers like shopping online because of ease, and about half of them like the accessibility. They can access so many more products that they can at a retail location. Slide, please. So I'm here to tell you, despite the dismal apocalypse, that retail is not dying. We just need to re-engineer it. And the reason I say that is about the same percentage of consumers shop online as shop in store. So the value is in trying to find a balance between the two. And if we get to the next slide, I kind of want to compare a little bit with online and brick and mortar, and some of this is obvious, right? Online, you can find a big selection. You have convenience. You have a technology. You have user experiences. There's a lot of recommended products. People can track behavior and guide the visitor to a website to buying specific products or encouraging upsells and that sort of thing. And the brick and mortar has this personalized service, the human interaction, the touch and feel of a product. We also have in our industry the expertise, somebody that actually knows specifically about a product. It's not some a faceless website that people are making a purchase. The question I like to pose or ask is, are people shopping online because they're not getting from a typical HME or pharmacy? They're not getting what they want from the pharmacy or from the store, and is that why they're continuing to spend more of their dollars online? Next slide, please. So what I have seen, and maybe later on in the presentation we can open this up to discussion, is that there seems to be an abundant emphasis on the physical store layout and the planograms. And not that this is wrong, right? But all the focus seems to be on the brick and mortar retail, how things are displayed. Is there open space? Are items properly laid out? Is there a nice selection in the store? We're focusing in on training employees and how they interact and when they should interact with a customer when they walk into our store. But every single one of these presentations, for the most part, separates the strategy of the brick and mortar retail as a separate business segment, as a separate unit. I hate using the word stepchild, but it's almost treated like a stepchild from the main reimbursement portion of the business. And for the most part, I'm not hearing a lot of folks talk about a strategy for online. And when I do, it's how do I get search engine rankings? Do I need to spend money on Google AdWords? Do I need to spend money on social media? And it becomes, again, a separate silo than the entire integration of the whole process itself. Next slide. And that comes really back for me to, are we asking the right questions? Are we trying to solve the right problem? And what I'd like to do is share with you a story that a mentor of mine told me back in 1985, so now I'm dating myself, in really focusing in on identifying a problem and trying to focus in on the right question. And I'm going to adapt the story a little bit for HME, DME, if that's okay with you guys. He didn't tell it to me from that perspective, but I'm going to ad-lib a little bit. And the story goes like this. This guy has a HME business, and he's struggling. He's struggling as many others are, and he's trying all sorts of different things to improve his business. He's trying planograms, and he's trying retail, and he's trying to work on search engine optimization and Google AdWords, but this guy's luck is just bad. It's just not doing well. And after years and years of trying a lot of different things, he decides he's going to give everything all up. He's going to sell absolutely every single thing that he owns. He's going to go to Las Vegas, and he's going to go for broke. He's either going to walk away very successful, or he's just going to be homeless, and that's what he decided he's going to do. So he goes to Vegas, and this guy's luck is so bad, he sells everything he owns, sells his home, sells his business, sells his cars, empty out all of his bank accounts, and he's in Vegas, and he is just taking one loss after another. And he slowly, methodically begins to lose every single dollar he has. And his luck is so bad that he is absolutely penniless, needs to use the washroom as he's leaving the hotel. And his luck is so bad that it turns out to be a pay toilet, and he doesn't have a quarter to be able to use the bathroom. So he sees the man inside the bathroom, and he asks the gentleman, "You mind if you give me a quarter so I can use the bathroom?" And the guy gives him a quarter. And on his way to the back, he sees a stall is open. And he goes inside, uses the stall, and as he comes out, he realizes he still has a quarter, and he committed that he was going to spend every last dollar, go for broke. Puts the quarter in the machine, and he hits the jackpot. Now he goes to a table, and this guy's luck is just completely turned around. He's winning, he's winning, he's winning. He decides he's had enough. He's won $100,000, and he decides that he's just going to go home. And on his way home, he decides that what he really is craving right now is a cigar. He goes to the airport, and there's no place to buy a cigar, so he decides, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get in the cigar business. I'm going to open up a cigar shop, and I'm going to put this cigar shop in the airport. He opens one up in the airport, and he starts doing phenomenally. He's making money hand over fist. Shop is doing really well. He decides to open another one up in another shop. He opens in another airport. He decides to open a few more. Next thing you know, he's got a franchise of cigar shops and airports all around the world. A huge company comes, buys him out for hundreds of millions of dollars. Now this guy has hundreds of millions of dollars, sold his company, and he's looking for something to do and decides he's going to be a motivational speaker. So he goes on a speaking circuit explaining his life story and how things were just completely terrible and they got turned around. And he tells this story of how he went to Vegas and decided to gamble everything and go for broke and how his life had turned around. And every single time he tells the story, he says, I keep looking for the guy in the bathroom. So one day, 2-3 years down the road, as he's telling this story, he's in some little town, Waterloo, Iowa, and he's doing a presentation, and the guy in the back of the room raises his hand, and he says, sir, that was me. I'm the guy in the bathroom that gave you that quarter. And he said, sit down. I'm looking for the guy that left the door open. Right? Everybody's expecting the one area, but we're really not looking at the right questioning. So next slide, please. So the issue right now is not are we looking at online or brick and mortar. We need to look at both. We need to look at a combination of both, and you need to listen to your customer. The customer is asking for interaction, and they're looking for convenience of being able to purchase online. They're looking for a large selection. And believe it or not, there is an art and a science to balancing both of those. And a lot of people call this an omni-channel sales channel. But we need to find a way to balance the online with your physical store experience for the customers. That's what the customers are looking for. So what we need to find is a way to combine what the best that the store offers with an effective online presence so that we can provide a compelling shopping experience for our customers both in store and online. Next slide, please. And that starts with real e-commerce. And I've got real e-commerce in quotes because at this point in time, there is absolutely no excuse for not having an online store with a buy now button that customers and customer service salespeople should be able to use to expand the selection and or be able to offer the products that you're selling in a more convenient channel so people do not have to come into the store to place the order. And I'm going to get into some of the features of the online stores, but there is a lot of technology out there that makes it very inexpensive to build and operate e-commerce stores. And when I'm talking about e-commerce stores, the first thing that people think about is advertising on Google and trying to attract customers to come to our store. And I'm saying no. I'm focused in not on being able to compete with online sellers. I'm talking about being able to use your online store as a way to enhance your customer shopping experience. Your online store should be attached to a kiosk in store. It should be on a tablet so that every single time a patient has an interaction with one of your customer service staff, with one of your sales staff, with your drivers, there is a tablet available, there's a PC available, there's a smartphone available, that when the situation arises, we can provide an easy way for the customer to buy items without having to come into the store. Drivers should have a tablet when they're visiting patients in their home and delivering oxygen in beds. They should be pulling up that website and they should be able to make recommendations, whether it's for bath safety, whether it's for incremental items. Your website should not be thought of as e-commerce websites or these online dealers. It should be treated as a cash register for every single touch point between your staff and the patient. Next slide, please. And the e-commerce website objectives is to create an extension of your in-store operation. In today's day and age, it's very easy to build either the products that you sell in store or build thousands of additional items that could be drop shipped direct from a distributor and build that into a catalog on a website so that you're offering your patients not just what is available in your store, but a lot more items that are not available in the store. The secrets to a lot of the companies that have figured out how to survive in a post-Amazon era, they're doing a lot more showrooming. You've been to Best Buy recently. You notice that you'll go there. There's a lot of product, and what you need, they'll have shipped right to you. So if you think about using some of the retail space more effectively, increasing the number of items that you're able to provide to patients, that's what the patients are looking for. You're looking for your website to be the answer to no. When a patient walks into your store and they're looking for a blood pressure monitor and grandma can't see too well, you have a talking blood pressure monitor, the answer should not be no, will we lose that patient to Amazon. The answer should be that you should have that connection, whether it's into McKesson's home delivery so that you can place that order on your website and have it shipped for home delivery directly to the patient. Objectives of your website: it should be mobile, you should have online chat, and there should be reviews that patients are able to leave both for products as well as merchant reviews. Those are the kind of things that get syndicated. In my opinion, that tablet, that computer, that web store, if you have it stocked with product that may or may not be in your physical store, could be the most profitable 80 square inches in your store. Next slide, please. Point here is that people are starting to figure out Amazon, and there is a kink in their armor, and the kink is that you want to try to digitally replicate the in-store experience. When a patient comes into your store, you have staff that guides them through the proper buying decisions, right? We need to take that same methodology and be able to guide the patients that are looking to buy online or not come into the store, or they're looking for the convenience of having incontinence products shipped to their home monthly. We want to be able to replicate that experience digitally for those customers that are also spending their dollars somewhere else. Next slide, please. So here's the takeaways. Online retailers now cannot replicate the in-store experience. In other words, think about it. It's easier for you to move into the online realm than for pure online distributor, online stores to move into the in-store realm, right? You have the assets that you should be leveraging that online retailers don't have access to, right? And that comes with choosing the right vendors that you're going to work with. You should be able to increase the number of products, the number of vendors, but you also have to choose the right vendors. We don't want to compete with online dealers on price and price alone. They're going to beat us on pricing alone. So we want to work with vendors that have minimum advertised pricing. We want to work with vendors that are not allowing their price or their brand to be degraded online. Another way of increasing the number of products that you can add to your store is to use drop shipping. Again, this is a great way for you to offer product that is complementary or items that your patients are buying somewhere else now. It's a great way for you to increase the amount of dollars that patient is spending with you by offering a larger selection of products. The other thing, too, is that you need to reprice your products online to compete with e-commerce sites. It's not fair to say that, hey, I need to work on a 50, 60-point margin because I've got a brick and mortar. But when you're working online, you're also competing with dealers that don't have brick and mortar that can work on smaller margins. So we have to find a balance. And then finally, you got to train the employees to take the advice that they're giving in service and use your applications, your tools, your technology in order to guide patients into making the right purchases online. Next slide, please. And what I'd like to do now is kind of open the discussion up for questions and answers. We're doing a presentation at MAMES with a couple of vendors that we're testing some really cool integrations between the reimbursement side and the cash side. So, Rose?
Yes, I just opened up the question and answer session. So I believe you should be able to raise your hand. Oops. All right. So anybody, let's look here. All right. Anybody have any questions? I'm going to go ahead and just open up folks' lines so that if you do have a question, you can let us know. Just one second.
I would love to, Rose.
I know. Go ahead. I think you should be open.
Rose, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
This is Jim Spellman. How you doing?
Doing good.
Question I have is, Rose, we compete with obviously online buyers, and they come in and we educate them, we spend time with them, and we give them everything they need except we don't complete the transaction. They leave the store, they go online and take the information and education we provided them and then buy it online. That's just a common thing. We know that's happening with our customers and want to try to address that. Do you have any insight or anything, any answers to that quandary?
Yeah. So the first issue is, why are you losing them? Are you losing them because of price, or are you losing them because the product's not available in the store? So it's a hassle. You have to place the order for them. It has to be shipped to the store. They have to come back and pick it up. You get an invoice from the store to pay, or from the manufacturer to pay for the item. Then you have to take the patient's cash. It's a hassle, right? Is it a convenience issue? Is it a price issue?
That's a good question. I'm going to say it's probably a combination of both. I think price, people people are looking for the best price possible, and if the online can undercut us, to whatever percentage, that many people will go there. Not all, though. I mean, some people, the fact that we have it in the store and it's a little bit higher than what they find online, they'll buy it anyway. But I just know that's happening with our customers, and I just wanted a little bit of insight.
And I think the emphasis there is that do you have an online catalog website that has those products on that makes it easy for your customer service staff to capture that sale right then and there. If you had a website that had that item, you could place that order, capture payment from the customer, and make it easy for your customer right then and there. And I'm going to give you an example of training that we did for our customers, right? So as you guys may or may not know, we build and fully managed e-commerce stores for HME DME. And we had some customers that were not really successful with it. So I did a training session a couple of weeks ago, and it kind of went like this. I said, so you have the website, we develop it for you, and the site has 25,000 SKUs from 250 manufacturers, and they're wondering why they're not selling a whole lot of product on the website. And my question to them was, what do you do to engage the customers? Oh, we're doing everything. We tell every one of our customers to go to our website and place an order on our e-commerce store. We have so much more than what's available in store. And my response was, there's your mistake. And they said, why? I said, when you get a customer walking into a store and they're looking for a product and they see a bath safety item, you have a basket at the door and tell them to just drop some cash in on the way out the door? And they said, no. I take it, I bring them up to the register, I ring them up, I take their credit card, and then we even help them load it up into the car. I said, why do you treat your web store different than how you're treating the customer in the store? Why, instead of sending the customer to your website to purchase an item that you don't have, why are you not taking the tablet out, walking with the customer, showing them the item, adding it to the cart, taking their credit card, processing the payment, right? remember, the key is people are looking to integrate the online with the retail. When you have a driver in somebody's home and you have a website with an online catalog, why is that driver not going into the person's home with a tablet asking if they can do a free bathroom safety assessment? You know what Grandma needs is a grab bar and a raised toilet seat. Here it is. Add it to the cart, walk them through. When somebody is looking because the CPAP machine is dirty, why are we not integrating the convenience portion of retail so that we can walk that patient through buying a SoClean? There's no inventory on the truck, but you have it on your web store. The web store is not designed for when somebody stumbles on your website, they can place an order. I'm so against search engine optimization. I'm so against having the website where you're drawing traffic to. I'm saying your biggest asset is your customer. Your biggest asset is the face-to-face relationship. Your biggest asset is you are standing in front of a customer who has cash. They're begging you to take their cash, and we're not servicing them. And that's the methodology I think that needs to change. The methodology is this is just a walking, talking cash register. I see a lot of websites out there that have a buy now button, or I'm sorry, don't have a buy now button. There's a ton of information. There's a ton of product. And if a customer says, I'm looking for this item, they need to fill out a 20-page form to get somebody to contact them. If Amazon did that, they would die tomorrow. Why are we not creating the same convenience for our customers? And why are we not empowering our employees to be able to complete that transaction? Because, like you said, you're spending a lot of time with that patient. You're spending a lot of time, and they like that Triumph roll-it, and you don't have it in red. But it's on your website. Why are we not taking the credit card information and taking that transaction right then and there?
Great question there, Jim.
Thank you, Rose.
Anybody else have a question for Kamal?
That's where I get this from.
Come on, guys, don't be shy. It's 6 in the evening. I'm dying to finish so I can go start having a cocktail.
And just a reminder, you can look on your screen and you can unmute your line in case you're trying to talk and it's muted. It should be usually a microphone. You just need to click on that and unmute. So we'll give it one more opportunity for folks to ask questions. All right. Well, hearing none, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who participated in today's webinar, and we thank Kamal and Health Mobius for his time and information for this webinar. We will follow up with everybody who RSVP'd with us for this webinar with a copy of the presentation. And as a reminder, we will post the recording on the MAMES website within a few days. And that is available once you log into the MAMES website. So if anybody has any issues logging into the MAMES website, please let the MAMES office know. So again, thank you to everybody, and everyone have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Rose.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Thanks, Rose.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Rose, I'm sorry, one last thing.